I've had this conversation with a few different people this week, and what it looks like is differentiating what is anxiety connected to nervous system activation versus emotions and feelings inside of safety. And so, what I'm really wanting some of the people I work with to discern, distinguish, and just separate out in terms of identity, personality versus symptomology or survival mode. And so this is teaching anxiety as not being an emotion, saying, let's take away I'm feeling anxious and look at anxiety as a neurochemical experience that is connected to a recognition of nervous system activation having taken place. So when you are flipped into your nervous system activation and the limbic system and subconscious is flagging as critical threat to the point of that part of your mind takes over and overrides the frontal abstract reasoning and conscious processing, yes? Then this big dump of neurotransmitters happens. Cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. And here's where I feel anxious happens, is those chemicals are creating a response in your body, and your body is preparing to fight, freeze, or run, right? Fight, freeze, flight, fawn. Those are like the four options, if you will, connected to that nervous system activation. And so as we start to decode this and really have the labeling and are given a larger vantage point so we can have perspective of what is happening to us, we let go of the ways in which we have internalized our very symptomology and nervous system activation as we say things like, I'm just an anxious person. I'm just a tightly wound person. I'm just a controlling person. No, you are not the identification of how your nervous system inside of a chronic state of activation is presenting. That is not who you are. This is an indication that you're cycling quickly in and out of nervous system activation in any given day. Yes? And what a lot of people are experiencing is once they start to experience more of that healing on the journey to homecoming energy, there's a different sense of safety. And while that feels new and like an adjustment, a welcome one in some ways, it's also a revealing one. It's a revealing phase. And I have countless people coming in when they reach that phase, surprised about the depth of emotionality that they're experiencing, that somehow they're experiencing that while feeling grounded, centered, and safe, and yet the emotional depth feels deeper, richer than things that they have felt when they have been in survival mode. Your capacity for genuine emotional processing is not the same in survival mode versus a grounded, anchored safety. It widens when you reach that place. And this is an adjustment. This is an adjustment, and it's a beautiful thing. And now we start to experience energy moving, unbinding, and coming up next in line, to have the turn that it's always deserved, to be fully emotionally processed the way it never could have been if we continue to be in a chronic, cycling, unstable state of nervous system activation in survival mode. So this is also connected into what I talked about in the last video around the positioning and pursuit versus presence as we're in the flow of our inner truth and safety. We are safe enough to float. I think that is a great way to put it, right? As I'm seeing that. Oh, love floats. Oh, that is the sweetest thing. Love floats. I knew it yesterday. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. I'm going to tell you what's happening in a minute. I just got to gather up this and just experience this. This fully. Love floats. I knew yesterday, okay, I was organizing my daughter's room and and I'm feeling like a lot of emotion rising to the surface as we're amazing. So I was organizing her room last night. I clean it, but every now and again I actually organize it because all her things are so cute, but they're plentiful and they're tiny. It's like these miniature little babies that have these, it's just so much stuff. And over the course of a couple of weeks or so, what happens is she ends up having like 7 of her purses and her backpacks are just full of all these tiny things. So I'm like going out to actually put everything away. And then it's sweet when she comes home after having her room reorganized like that to see the way she plays change a little bit when she has everything set up so nicely like that. So anyway, I'm organizing and I get to the dresser portion where I'm just taking care of cleaning off and sorting things on the dresser, and spirit just goes boom, and my eye contact is like bang, directed. And I see this perfect heart shape inside of her little beta fish tank. The heart is just little bubbles, like little air bubbles of filtration, right? That are perfectly in a heart, perfectly in a heart. And I took a picture of it and it filled my heart with love and it was so meaningful. And as I was just vaguely holding it, letting it kind of swirl around me is a better way to say than holding it, and like allowing that gentle breeze of the experience to warm my cheeks, I heard that love floats, love floats, love floats. I thought that's so beautiful. And I had a feeling there's going to be more to it. And then bang, it just hit me. Love floats. When you are feeling safe enough to lean back and float rather than swim, that's a beautiful thing, right? That's a beautiful thing. I think nobody inside of a insecure, fragile, survival mode is going to say, you know what, I'm going to lean back and let this water carry me. I'm going to float. But when you walk over to the other side of that bridge and we have come home to ourselves and the inner balance is there, the safety allows the floating, and the bubbles that rise to the surface deserve to be felt. They deserve to be felt. It's time. You deserve it. Now that we finally know that those bubbles were always meant to carry us and they were not going to consume us. Life changes. Life changes. Yes. And I've just had countless reflections about the way in which my sense of safety and my ability to lean back and float has allowed me to open my eyes and see details of the veining on leaves above me as I'm floating down the stream. And what I mean by that is I feel safe enough to allow myself to be supported. And now I get to have the awe and the love and the beauty of that just fill my heart and show up in all of these seemingly small places in my life. Like this, I literally, when Spirit directed my eye contact and I saw that perfect heart shape of bubbles, I said out loud something. I made some kind of audible noise, right? Like, oh, thank you. It's a beautiful thing. Love just shows up for you in all these places, and you learn to not lean, and you learn to not chase or confine, constrict the energy of love, the frequency of love, which you deserve to feel bubbling around you. The way you feel your breath happening, the way you feel the support of this air, and the way your body is naturally waving, inhaling, exhaling, waving with that for you, for you. This is love for you. This is love for you, carrying you. And I'll just give you another quick example of this because I just think it's a beautiful thing. This kind of stuff happens to me all the time now, all the time now. Oh my gosh. I mean, I can't even tell you how much love and gratitude I have for this. So one little example is I've been working on a project with repairing some of my foundation walls, like concrete and new Drylock. And somebody told me with quite a bit of confidence a couple weeks ago, oh, you can't repaint over that Drylock paint at all unless you do X, Y, and Z. And I'm not going to put like details of the X, Y, and Z because I don't want to hear like other people's unsolicited advice on what everybody thinks is the right way to do it, right? The point is, I was kind of really going above and beyond, doing something that was like not necessary. And I felt it intuitively. So I only did this, like trying to really use a grinder to get every inch of paint off this concrete wall, just a little bit. And then my intuition was just not sitting well with it. I was like, this is just not feeling right. It just doesn't feel like the path. But I'm also not a Mason. So, it is what it is. But I strapped in and drove up to Lowe's, and I was intending to ask some questions there and get some like more safety equipment because it just didn't feel right to me, the idea of having this dust around and falling on the ground. So I was looking for like a shop vac extension and things like this. Anyway, the whole point of it is I'm concerned about wanting to do this the right way and properly because I like to do things well for sake of the actual walls, right? But then I also want to do things in a way that is honoring and preserving the health of me and my family. So these are my main concerns. So I walked down this aisle at Lowe's, and as I'm looking for something, this man who doesn't work there is in the same aisle and comes up and starts asking me, can I help you? What are you looking for? And he's not an employee, but he's just guided by spirit to come talk to me. And I said, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm looking for. And this man has the expertise on each side that I need to feel safe, loved, supported, secure, and guided down the path of how to proceed with this. He says, my dad was a Mason, my granddad was a Mason, and my great-granddad was a Mason. But I'm not a Mason. I'm a doctor. And I worked for my whole career in ER and critical care units, but I'm retired now. And I'm here getting things to help with a project for my daughter's house. So I'm like, risk benefit analysis of how do I do this with integrity for sake of my home and with priority for sake of my health. And this man, I mean, love love. This feels to me, when things like this just happen to me so frequently, I am just blessed beyond measure to have gone through all of what felt like trials and tribulations and blessings in disguise, as I allowed the center of me to be cracked open and exposed, vulnerable, naked and afraid, to be able to walk into the type of revelations and exposure that is a part of this formula to arrive at the type of safety that allows a sweet surrender, not defeat, where I can let love float. All right, my mind is blown. My mind is blown. I literally just recorded that and then thought I was done or stopped and had a session. And my last session in EMDR is getting channeled everything I'm just talking about, everything I'm just talking about. So we're doing a set, and then this person says, I'm seeing a beta fish. I'm like, okay. And then we do another set. I'm seeing it swimming upstream, right? Positioning, river of resistance, swimming upstream. Now I see its tail is stuck underneath like a river rock. Okay. And then we're seeing this shift, this chasm, the flow of the water, it shifts to light filtering through and the peace. And there's a whole lot of energy here around contrast and the way in which contrast, when we have the confusion and muddy waters from rushing, creates that separation of self, this chasm that holds a space between the experience and truth of our own eternal essence and our true nature, right? And as we close the distance with that chasm coming together and the contrast on this plane shifts out of energy of confusion and into the experience of creation. These illusions of separation fade, and the homecoming energy, the revelation, pivots that positioning. And now we are entering the realization, the embodied experience of wholeness that allows us to arrive at the amount of safety one needs to float. Love floats.